G'day guys, welcome back to another video of Mutiny Pirate Survival. How are we doing? Hope you guys are well. So today what I want to do is I actually wanted to do something a little bit different, and this is more in light with the recent update. So if you guys aren't aware or are not across it, the game actually went through a mini update. So we went to 0.45.0, so a very small incremental update, but there has been a lot of changes in the background and also to do with some of the zones as well. So we're going to go ahead and check those out today, and I'm actually thinking about making a new sort of mini series. I'll actually make a separate playlist for this, so it's not going to coincide with the main playlist, but then again I'm actually going to just post them as they come kind of thing. But I'm more wanting to make it for new players and to sort of make it scalable for those people that are starting to play. So I'm thinking about that, but let me know in the comments what you think about that as well. So the idea is to try and sort of make it in the game and using minimal weapons, heals, clothing, things like that. So if you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments. If you guys are new, let me know in the comment section. And by the way, if you guys are new, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, comment down below. And also, if you guys have just seen the video as well for the first time today, you may have already seen a little QR code there. If you've missed it, rewind back, make sure you scan it so you can download the game. I'll make sure I'll put it towards the end of the video as well if you don't want to rewind it and then resume the play. So it'll happen again at the end of the video. But anyway, aside from that, let's go ahead and head out to... I'm actually going to head over to the Rocky Island. So I'm picking out the Rocky Island, and not the Stone Island, but the Tropical Island as the sort of two default islands that I've noticed that had received most of the update and changes. But I'm going to go to the Rocky Island first today, only because I need copper. So there's a need for me to head over there, so I'm actually going to head over there, and we'll go and try and get as much copper as we can from the Rocky Island. But I know we're not going to get a lot from there, but I'm sort of going to try and sort of illustrate a point while we're doing that today. Now, I haven't actually gone through the Rocky Island too much since the update, so I'm going to go see how much we can survive in that zone and the like. So that is the reason for that. But I'm actually also going to pick up this fella here, and just in case we lose durability on that pickaxe that we've got there, because I just realized it was pretty much on its last leg. So yeah, anyway, let's us head out. So Rocky Island it is. Now I haven't got much energy, so I'm just going to use my boat's power, and let's us head over there and see if we can actually hang it and survive. So before we get stuck into it, you may have noticed I've actually really detuned my player for this video here. So we're wearing tier 2 clothing and armor. I've got tier 2 weaponry, and I've actually got a tier 1 handmade pistol. I didn't realize actually the handmade pistol had went through a change in the crafting recipe. So I remember it needed some sort of copper. Now it only needs a couple of bamboo boards and a couple of gunpowder, which you guys will definitely be able to find in basic events or basic zones that you travel out to if you guys are brand new to the game. So that's actually a really easy weapon to craft when you find the gunpowder, more importantly. So if you guys get yourself to be able to find some gunpowder, hang on to it, make some handmade pistols when you start off. So I figured I may as well just mention that while we're at it. So yeah, there you go. Okay, now yes, I am definitely going to be very underpowered in this zone. I did bring a no shit weapon just in case, so I've got that there with me. But I'm going to see if we can hang it. I'm going to see if we can just sort of get ourselves by. So for a lot of people, it's going to be pretty difficult to get through, especially if you're just starting to get yourself to these type of islands here, and and you're wanting to just sort of try to grind and forage and all that sort of good stuff. So what I'm aiming here to do is just sort of highlight the fact that you can use things like the sneak attack, as I'm doing here, and we are able to harvest things without any worry from threats or anything of that nature. So we can continue, and we can continuously crawl our way around. Now, it's obviously not the most ethical way of doing things, but you might find in an instance you may have to engage in a pirate attack like this, and for the meantime you're able to quickly get yourself out of strife without a problem. Now, I'm using this weapon in particular. It's the Monkey Fang. Now, if we quickly go back to our crafting menu here, where is it? We are wanting to find the copper knife. Now, the copper knife will be fairly easy to come by, and you'll be able to craft one of these fairly quickly as you sort of go along. And when you're sort of at this sort of level, you'd be more or less be able to make a copper knife at the very least, and it bears the same attack speed and damage. So I didn't want to make one just for the sake of making one, so I figured if I had actually use what I've got in my inventory, then yeah, it sort of serves a similar purpose as what I'm sort of trying to illustrate. So I hope you guys sort of understand the reasoning why I've done that in the first place. But the reason that I'm still crawling, is that I'm sort of trying to highlight the fact that you can still get by if you've got a lower spirit level. Now, I've got a fairly high spirit level, so it doesn't really bother me right now if I go through here and I'm sort of, running around and things like that. This is more so to sort of try and get you guys in a mindset that you can still sort of get through some of these parts of the zone with very minimal confrontation, and I guess in a sense, can't I not actually, I can't, you can't. So you'd actually have to break your way through. So if we do that, you can try and sort of get by without detection from pirates or anything of that nature. So you can sort of get yourself by here. You may not in some cases, so just bear that in mind. And there's a few here for my liking, so I might actually just abandon myself and get myself out of the zone. And don't be scared if you guys have to do that. I know this is fairly basic, and I know a lot of well-seasoned pirates that do watch my videos will be rolling their eyes right about now, but sometimes, playing or going back to basic zones, they do, here we go, they do offer you some, a little bit of humbleness, and you really sort of, I guess, retrain yourself, because sometimes, yes, you do get lazy, and I don't say that in a bad way. I mean that in the sense that you do have high power weapons, so the chances of you doing exactly this is going to be very, very, highly unlikely. And as you can see, I've got a very basic weapon here, and I dispatched the Ocelot quite quickly. And yes, we're also taking out the prudent pirate quite quickly as well. So I'm not going to take any of those with me at the moment, because I've got a ton of those stuff, so I don't really need to bother myself with that. And then we've got this fella over here that we're going to need to dispatch, because I'm going to need to get the copper node just here. So let's go ahead and take him out, and you can actually obviously get past his little shotgun attack. Let's put it, and there we go. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to swap that over for that. He didn't really have anything that I wanted, so we're just going to continue on. Again, like I said, the Savage Varan here, you'll still be able to get by without a problem. And here, now this is probably where you're going to find yourself in a bit of a pickle, because you've got 1, 2, and 3 possible enemies versus the 1. So what I would do is I'd take out the Varan. Yes, a little bit more higher in HP, but at least this way you're going to be able to take him out a little bit quicker, and he's only attacked you about 2 or 3 times, give or take. And then this way, this allows you to up and run and continue on here. So at least this way you can sort of get your way through. And this is basically where we were before, if I'm not mistaken. So again, and then here I've woken up the cavalry. So for me, like I said, if I really wanted to, I can just use a weapon or two and take these fellas out. Yes, I've got some heals as well that I can use in the meantime, and as you probably would have noticed, I've got the basic of heals. So I've got the basic herbal infusion, and that obviously does the trick, as you can see there. And continuing on, see if we can get around. Hopefully we shouldn't be able to detect any other animals. Like I said, these fellas here are not going to be a problem for me specifically because I've got the higher spirit count. So you still stand to get some sort of level of materials and resources here as you're sort of going along. Oh, there we go. Alright, so let's just dispatch these two fellas here. There we go. And sometimes they drop some weapons as well, so you can actually pick those up and take those along with you if you choose to do so. Now, since I took out all these fellas here, they left this vacant, so I'm able to obviously pick up anything that I want here. For me, I'm just going to munch on those and take those along with me. Now, obviously, this wasn't the zone for me to visit today. I just wanted to sort of illustrate that you can go through these type of zones and obviously survive, and you know, you can get a reasonable amount of stuff. So the Copper Island is a little bit more difficult because it is a level 40 zone, so you've got to keep that in mind, and that's why we're obviously about to go there in a minute. But I just wanted to sort of give you guys a bit of an idea that you can still get what you want. It may not be in the quantity amount as much as you want or would like, but at least it's something. Alright, and we've taken you out. And I'm only just coming out this way because I remembered there was another copper node over here, and there's another one over there actually. I didn't realise that. There you go. Alright, so let's just take out this prudent pirate here. There we go, stabby stabby. And it took them ages for them to reload their guns, so I guess that's another way you can sort of exploit the fact as well, so you can actually get them quicker than they get you, kind of thing, if that makes sense. Alright, look, I'm just going to continue running along because we know already I've got the highest spirit count, so I don't really need to worry about sneaking my way around. But let's see if we can sneak our way through here. See if we can get through this part here undetected. If you really wanted to, which I probably recommend that you should, just take this guy out in isolation just in case, because if you have to try and get yourself out of here and you need to run and you need to get out of here and you're fairly low on health, that guy there could be the difference between you dying or surviving. Okay, so you might have enough HP in the meantime, but you might get swamped. So you just got to be very careful in how you sort of conduct yourself. So hopefully that's been a little bit informative to sort of go through, I guess, the ins and outs in how I would approach tackling on zones if it's a little bit above your level per se. But like I said, hopefully by then you might have a range of weapons and heals and things like that will get you by, and that way you might be able to sort of, you know, carry yourself through. And I guess this is the graining point for a lot of people, especially if they're newly starting off. And yeah, I feel like, you know, sort of giving you guys a bit of tips and tricks of my own, hopefully that might resonate with you guys. But when you get to a place like here, like I said, you can go to any zone as well. Don't be discouraged that you can't go to a particular zone, because you definitely can, okay? You most definitely can. And especially if you want to go to a zone such as this, because you're not only just going to get copper, you're going to get things like charcoal, as you've just seen there. And that's going to give you the baseline to make things like gunpowder, which in turn gives you the ability to make the handmade pistol that I've got there. So, you know, it's all relevant. And hopefully it gives you a bit of, you know, some sort of an insight as to how to sort of progress in the game. So, like I said, I feel like I'm going to make a series of videos about it, and I might stick them in a separate playlist. But like I said, again, let me know in the comments if you guys feel that might be beneficial for you. Even if you guys are a well-experienced pirate, do you think it's going to benefit the younger players? Let me know in the comments, because your opinions will also matter. and I feel like you guys will have a better level of understanding of the game. And if it helps, well, I'm happy to do it, and I'm happy to cover that in my playthroughs. But like I said, so far I haven't been detected. We've gone through quite a number of pirates and a number of animals as well. As you can see, there is a savage Varan here. Now, we did get found here, we did get caught, but like I said, these guys seem to be fairly easy. Their HP are about 225, so I don't see that they're too much of a threat. It's more when you sort of find the ones that are 300 plus in the setup that I've actually gone for today, just to sort of give you guys a bit of an idea. So I'm going to take those because I didn't really have to farm for those, so that's fine. And as we go along, I can still continue on and get ourselves some bits and pieces. Now, I know there's been some... Oh, here we go. We've got this fella coming at us here. So let's see if we can just take this fella out. And thank you very much. What did you drop? So we'll take that. I'll take that. And I think you're still wearing some clothing, so that is fine. Yes, you are. So you know what we'll do? We'll just swap those for that. And then let's see if we can just take that and use that. Okay, cool. So the other thing I wanted to highlight is my understanding. Oh, here we go. That this zone in particular has their copper quantities reduced. So I'm interested to know what we sort of come up with as we sort of go along here. Now, I think when I came in, I had less than a full stack, so I think I had about 16. No more than 20. Definitely no more than 20. So far we've got a stack and a bit, putting it that way. And then we've got this guy here. So let's just go back here. Now, here's a 300 level enemy. And still, as I said, I was still able to dispatch him quite quickly. So make no mistake, using little shivs like that will work, and they will sort of come in clutch as well. So at least this way you guys have a you guys can use a multiple, you know, range of weapons and things like that that may or may not even suit your needs. Some of them will, some of them don't, but like I said, this is the way that I've done it. Alright, let's just dispatch you. Now, like I said, here's another 300 HP. And he's only taking me, he's only hit me about 3 or 4 times. I'm actually going to take that because I do need that. I need to make another run and try and take out like little hairs like that, so I can get some thin leather. Because that's my bottleneck for making heals at the moment, is the ability for me to get a sufficient amount of water skins. That is my biggest gripe at the moment, but that's okay. That is okay. Let's see if we can come across around here. See. So it looks like we only pulled out one of them, which is good. So if you can do that, you're not disrupting all 3 of them. So sometimes you can take people out in isolation, and that way you're not going to get overwhelmed and attacked aggressively, so which, you know, obviously results you running out of the zone, which, like I said, it's not something that you should be ashamed of doing, because it's part of the mechanics of the game, and it'll allow you to you know, reset yourself, recompose, get back in there and go again, kind of thing. So hopefully that all makes sense. Alright, well, unfortunately I had to deal with him as well. So here, alright, so I've dragged a few of them out. Actually, I've dragged all of them out. Now this is what you don't want, okay? This is what you don't want. So you definitely don't want to rustle up too many people, because like I said, you can get overwhelmed fairly quickly. And if you don't have any heals, it's basically lights out for you. And the last thing you want is to die on an island, because you'll lose half of your stuff and you'll lose durability and things like that. So at least in this instance here, I was able to get by. And again, like I said, I'm using the basic of weapons that you can easily craft even prior to you coming to this zone. Alright, you, come on, let's deal with you. There we go. Right, let's see what we've got in here. So I've got a few things there. I'm not going to bother with those. This is really what I wanted to sort of come out with. Now, I know prior to this update here, I was able to get in excess anywhere between of 80 to 100 pieces of copper, so I'm interested to see what we actually get from this. So we're nearly done. So I noticed there was a couple more nodes up here. Let's see if we can make our way around. And again, like I said, let's just treat this as if we're just hiding from this Varan here. Now, you can easily get this without him registering that you're there, but you're not going to be able to get the one on the left here, okay? So you would need to engage and take him out, which I'm doing here at the moment. And as I said, we'll be able to take him out quite comfortably. Oh. There we go. So let's see if we can make our way over this way. Alright, so we didn't get out of his proximity, but that's okay. He caught sight of us, which is fine. And then as you can see, there is that tin? I think that's tin. So we might be able to get some tin out of this deal. Actually, I wasn't aware that there was a tin node up here. So that must have been a change in the recent update. But like I said, you can easily navigate your way through like that. And we got ourselves a little bit of tin to go away with us. And he was... okay. Oop. Alright, so we're just going to be careful now. Like I said, don't be ashamed to bail, because excuse me, there's no shame in doing that, because you obviously reset everything and then you go again. Alright, so my dude is thirsty, so let's just quickly see if we can drink up and eat. So these fellas were just around here. These are the last two nodes. Alright, looks like we had to deal with you. I thought we can get past this guy, but unfortunately not the case. But like I said, still getting there. And then this way, this brings a different perspective, because you can go down a different pathway without the way that I went through, because I pretty much snaked around the whole map to get what I want. And this guy here. And then that way you don't have to deal with the guys from down there before, well, you know, beforehand. So there you go. There's another way of doing it. Okay, so that's basically it. That's basically it, guys. That's the zone cleared. Look, there might be an exception. I may have missed one or two nodes here or there, but you guys get the idea. I'm sure you do. By about 23 minutes into the video, I'm sure you guys get it by now. But let's have a look at what we got. So I was able to get 77. Now I know this amount here that I've just highlighted, I think that's about the amount that I had coming into the zone, so we can't count that. So I got about 60 right there. And if you were to make, let's go to the anvil here, it takes you 4 pieces with 1 charcoal to make an ingot. So it's going to be less than a full stack, but nonetheless you will get the ability to make things like this, like that, and you don't have to rely on things like your stone equivalents. Okay, so if we go into say the workshop, for example, if it allows me to click into it, I won't actually, because I'm not home. That's why you can't do it. So we're going to stick to this. But you can definitely make that. I've got a lot of gunpowder, but for those that don't, or that's just starting out, if you find it, you'll be able to make it. Okay, so once you've gone through everything else, all things considered, you'll be able to make things like copper axes, pickaxes. It enables you to make plates, fasteners, copper tools. Copper tools, what am I saying? Copper tools, knives, even the copper saber and the spear. This might happen a little further down the line, but at least it enables you to make the plates that will facilitate you making copper weapon parts for better copper guns, like the Willock pistol, just to give you guys an example. But that's going to go ahead and do it here today, guys. Hopefully you got a little bit out of this one here. Like I said, I know there's going to be some changes to this game, and I feel like this is the very first step for a massive change for this game as it's coming through, because I feel like they have changed a lot of things on purpose, like they've limited the amount of resource quantities that you get per zone. So I mean, I've covered that quite extensively through the southern zones, and it's also been affected now in the normal, beginner zones. I should probably, point them, or maybe classify them as beginner zones. So I feel like there's going to be another rebalance, another rescaling of resources, what it costs to make things, and all that sort of stuff. So I feel like recipes are going to change as well. And yeah, like I said, I feel like there's going to be a massive update coming. I just don't know what that looks like or when that's going to happen, but I reckon it's going to happen fairly soon, because for things like this and for a little update to sneak through like this, I feel like it's going to happen fairly soon. So hopefully, let's stick to it. Hopefully you guys found some value out of this. Let me know in the comments, in the comment section down below, what you thought about this one. If you enjoyed it, if you found it insightful. If you guys want me to do the basic zone series, happy to do that. I feel like I'm going to do it anyway, but I just want to hear your thoughts anyway around that. And if you guys are brand new to this channel as well, and if you haven't played Mutiny before, you would have seen a QR code pop up not long ago. Definitely scan that so you can download the game onto your mobile device, whether it be it iOS or Android. Alright guys, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.